Good afternoon, everyone. This is Juan Catamayo, JCT4Education for you. Remember, all these videos are being saved on our IGTV on Juan Catamayo, and we also have them saved on our YouTube channel. So Juan Catamayo for you, JCT4Education, and today we're bringing a hero. I think we all carry this child inside of us, and you will see why I'm saying this because we were so engaged when we were growing up about our dreams, and who better to have the person. He actually was born in Spain and then grew up in the United States. So you will see coming up one incredible human being. I'm just waiting with test technology. Un saludo para Freddy. Freddy, no te vayas, te va a encantar esta historia que vamos a traer. Aquí tenemos a María Gles Portela, un saludo para ti. Mi mamá se metió, Cristian Safi. Vamos a ver, hemos tenido una acogida muy grande en estos programas en vivo, más o menos al promedio a la semana, ya llegando a los 17,000 personas que están viendo estos programas. Y bueno, ayer tuvimos a Marco Caicedo y hoy tenemos a un ser extraordinario. We're waiting for him to sign up. Just give it a shot. Be patient, and I will ask production team to see if you can contact him and see what's going on. JCT4Education, hola. Thank you so much for everyone. And let me see. We're waiting for our guest. 1 second. Live from Miami. We're checking. 1 second. Danny, right here. Everyone. We're waiting and we will invite our guest. 1 second. Who is coming on JCT4Education with Juan Catamayo conversation? Danny.
How are you?
Good. How are you, my friend?
It took me a couple minutes. I got on.
No problem. I am so impressed because you told me you don't use much social media, no Instagram, no social media.
No, I try not to. That doesn't mean I don't get on with other people's phones and stuff.
Okay.
But no.
Danny, bienvenido. I am so happy. I'm so honored to have you today on Conversations with Juan Catamayo, man. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Well, for those of you, the title of this conversation is Firefighter, Professional Baseball Player, and a Parent. Danny, how many hours did you sleep today?
2 to 3, but broken.
Okay, and that's normal or that's a luxury actually?
For our station, it depends the truck you're on, but it all depends on what what our customers are feeling, when they want to call us. So
okay. And Danny, let's go back and we have an audience of students, parents, high school counselors, independent counselors, colleges, universities, you name it. And your story is inspirational, and that's one of the reasons you're here. You can give us so many updates on safety and securities, but let's just start. So where are you from originally? Where were you born?
I was born in Madrid, Spain.
Okay.
My parents were they immigrated there, not together, differently. So they happened to meet there. And my father had family here in New Jersey. So I think my dad was there a total of 7 or 8 years. My mom was 5. I was born there. So then about 2 or 3, they decided to come where the majority of their family was. They came to New Jersey, but with my dad's uncle. And then, like many people, they found out they didn't like the cold. They didn't like it in Madrid. They didn't like it in New Jersey. So then they came down here to Miami.
Okay. And do you happen to know a story how they met in Madrid?
He went in for a haircut.
Okay.
And she was a stylist, and he needed a haircut. Asked her out, nice and simple.
Okay.
And it just went from there.
Alrighty. That's incredible that they meet in Madrid. Do you have a European passport?
No, I'm not allowed to,
You're not
even
allowed
though I
to.
was born there. that could be a whole nother conversation.
That will be it.
I
That will be.
I I tried to when I went to play there,
Hmm.
but la ley de la memoria histórica
Sí.
does not apply to me
Okay.
because my grandparents or my parents weren't born there. However, because I was born there, I would have had to serve in the military. So they considered
Okay.
me, they only gave me immigration status, like
Okay.
that I was passing through.
Okay. Well, I
Yeah.
just want to take a second to say hello to Anna Swistonov, Anna Bar, Anna Gaviria, Samu. Samu,
Yes.
welcome back. Then we have Luz Amparo, mi mama, of course.
Hey,
And here we have Ray. And Ray says, this guy is handsome. And then we have,
he's
we have,
biased.
yeah. But anyway, Danny, so you moved to Miami. You grew up in
Yes.
Hialeah?
Yes. Yes, I
Okay.
did.
Where did you
Pretty
go
much.
to high school?
I went to Pace, Monsignor Pace High School,
Okay.
and it's considered Opalaca, but
Opalaca?
my parents put me in a private school.
Okay.
Um,
And
that,
then
I,
one of the things that is fascinating, at what age did you fall in love? Did you say, I want to play baseball?
ooh, that was different than when I started. I was watching a World Series game with my father, and I was about 4.5, 5 years old because I still remember it was Reggie Jackson hitting his 3 home runs in a game, and I was like, wow, I would love to do that. So, like any other kid, not just with baseball, but any other sport, any other dream, fighter pilot, doctor, you're little, you see somebody do that, and you're like, wow, I want to do that. So,
Wow, that
yeah,
that's incredible. So I know baseball is part of the Cuban culture and
yeah.
part of the Miami culture. And so you grew up in a middle school, then in high school. Was your school very strong in baseball and still
Yes,
strong? Yeah.
yes, it was, and it still is. Um, after a while, a lot of kids gravitate to the school that's good,
Mm-hmm.
especially if it's a private school. Because
Yes.
I know it's different now with jumping around from school to school, but before you only went to the school that you lived in.
Okay.
So
Okay.
if you wanted to go to a really good private school that was also in sports, it didn't matter where you lived.
Okay. So now
So
when you were in high school, you're a guy of big dreams. Were you dreaming to be in the major leagues?
half of me was.
Okay,
There's
explain
always,
that.
um, I think it's important that, and my dad said that always have a backup. It's good to dream, but what if, especially in a sport, what if you get hurt? What if you're not good enough? What if a million things can happen? And he was always the one, like any at the time, any person that just came here was estudia, 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 because they knew this place has the opportunities, right? This is why they came
Yes.
here. This is
Yes.
exactly why they came here. And if you have any kind of education, that they'll never take away from you. So
So your parents were emphasizing athletics and education, like the two of them they come together.
for them, it was more like if you want athletics, you better have education.
Okay. And
So there was no option. If you didn't have the grades, I was not going to play.
okay. And
So
here we have Janet. Janet Cabrera, un abrazo. La esposa de Dani. Hola, Janet. And we
hello,
have
hello.
Gaby Vanegas, un abrazo. We hope that you're feeling better. And Danny, so okay, recruiters from all over the country. I used to work in admissions. We knew coming to Miami is just like for baseball players, incredible. So when you were looking for colleges and universities, was it as simple that you got hooked with University of Miami, or were other colleges and universities looking for you?
Um, remember at the time there was no internet, so your coach had to be very active in getting the message out. I have a player here. Come see my
Okay,
player. Now you
okay,
send a video, you can live stream, you can say, hey, look at this guy, look what he's doing. But I was fortunate enough to have good grades that I got into some schools
okay,
before they were recruiting me for baseball.
okay.
So I wanted to travel out, obviously, since I was little, I just wanted to get away. I wanted to see what else was out there.
Uh-huh.
But growing up in Miami, you always have that allure of the big school. And at the time, the big school was University of Miami, right
Yes,
down the street.
yes.
So um, when they recruited me for baseball, I they didn't know, but I was already accepted.
Okay.
So that was a big plus for them.
Okay. And
You know,
we have a good friend of mine in Ireland, Giles. He just signed up. Giles works in education as well. Giles, I haven't seen you in a
Ooh,
long time. You got to stay here, my friend Giles. Tell your friends we're with the famous Daniel Rios, an
oh,
incredible baseball player, professional baseball player, now a firefighter and a parent. Danny, so you enrolled at University of Miami. What were you studying at UM? What do you study?
I was I was studying business. I started off in accounting, and then I switched to finance for my junior
Okay.
year. Yeah.
Okay, and now is one of the most difficult schools to get in the nation. 40,000
Yep.
application,
Yep.
2,000 spots, and baseball is still very strong at University of Miami.
Yep. Yes, it is. It is. And even at the time, one of the good things about it at the time was it had a strong business program, which it still does. So to me, like it fit everything I wanted.
Of course, of course. Now, Danny, when you have talent, and that happens to a lot of professional athletes, some professional athletes they are actually drafted in second year in college and so forth. You jump to Oklahoma. Tell us a little bit how you jump from University of Miami, go to Oklahoma, and then came back.
Okay, remember I'm talking about the 80s.
Yes.
So, because now I have family members that graduate high school with associates.
Uh-huh.
But in high school, I had dual enrollment. So when they called UM because they needed a pitcher to go to Oklahoma for a semester, I was the only one that fit the need in the sense that I can go over there. I had enough classes to get an associate's and come back
Hmm.
to Miami. Because in order to come back, you needed an associate's. And that's one of the things, especially back then, that a lot of parents didn't push. Yes, you're playing athletics, but what are you doing academically to take care of your pathway to
Correct,
graduation?
correct. And I work in Iowa. I went to school in Iowa, Clark University, and I was recruiting at a community college. I think it was Eagle Hill Community College in Iowa, and it was very well known for baseball players. And Oklahoma, another good place for baseball players.
Yep,
So
yep.
Danny, you come back to Miami, and probably your ears are popping, and all people are started thinking, okay, this guy is gonna make it to the major leagues. How did you make that transition to leaving the university and just continue with your dream of playing professional baseball?
I came back because we had a certain coach that was coming back from Florida State, and then due to the politics of that junior year, the actual manager, I wasn't playing much,
Hmm.
so I was playing enough where they were recruiting me. And when I got offered a chance, I said, you know what? Let me give it a try. I can always come back and finish my studies.
Okay.
Even though back then it would have been a lot harder because now you have distance learning and you have so many other avenues. It's a lot easier
Yes.
to take care of that.
Now, Danny, for many of us that are not well educated into the baseball arena, my dad, he loved the Dodgers. I hope
Hmm.
that he's watching right now. And he grew up with baseball, but I grew up with soccer. So it is extremely difficult for actually college students, baseball players, to jump immediately from college into major league. I mean, no
Yeah.
man that is like a minority. Can you explain
Yeah.
us the process to move from college to the leagues to jump into the major leagues,
Well,
please?
real quick, at least for baseball, there's
Uh-huh.
6 levels.
Okay.
So, and they all depend on whether you come out of high school, college, or what your development is. But the average, it takes someone 3 to 5 years to make it to the big leagues.
Okay.
And that doesn't include the large amount of guys that don't make it or don't get
Okay.
close to it.
Okay.
So it could take anyone to 3 to 5 years. My plan was always to, as long as I'm moving up, keep assessing every year. I did not want to be stuck somewhere 8, 10 years later, not achieving my goal. And now I've gone further away from my education or the real world.
Correct, correct. And here Ray says tremendo pelotero y bombero. And I thought he was gonna put and rumbero, but
And
I don't want to get you in
only you know
trouble with
that.
your wife.
Only you know that.
Only I know that. But I just want to take a second to say congratulations. I told Camille on Simpson she graduated from college
Ooh,
actually, And a lot of students that are watching just graduated from high school. So congratulations to all of you. So
Especially with what they're going through right now. Yeah,
yeah,
good
they're
job
going.
finishing
Good,
up.
good
Yes.
job to all of you and graduating
Yep.
from college as well, many of you. Danny, so when you are
Yes.
in the minor leagues and you went to college, how much money was the average salary for minor leagues?
Oh, wow. At the time, in the first league that I went to, you're making $800 a month,
Oh,
and you're
wow.
only getting paid for the time that you play. So when
Okay.
you come in the off season, you can either take classes or get a second job to supplement for next year. So
Okay.
that's another reason why you do not want to be in the minors for a long period of time. You have to
Okay.
assess your situation. Is my dream actually achievable?
Okay. So how long did it take you to jump into the major leagues?
I was drafted in 93 and I got called up in 98.
Okay. So it took
In
you
98. So
5 years and
yeah, yeah.
so no other jobs that you did in between the
Actually,
month.
I'm sorry, 97. I got there in 97 and
Okay.
98 for 2 seasons. But yeah,
Okay. So and can you tell people who do you play for?
I played for the Yankees and I played for Kansas City Royals
Wow.
for 3 weeks and 3 weeks with each.
And how was the experience to play Major League Baseball?
Fantasy camp, it's unbelievable. Like everything that you literally dream of. You know, you don't touch your bags, nice hotels, the treatment, the trainers. I mean, everything, everything, everything. Everything is there for you. The fans, the people cheering, the fans against you. A lot of people don't think about that side, walking into a stadium and having the whole stadium yelling at you and you
Yes.
have to perform and yelling for you to fail, because at the end of the game, at the end of the day, it's a competition.
Yes. Yeah.
So, having to succeed while 40,000 people are yelling for you to fail is, I thought it was, um, the adrenaline from it was very rewarding.
And I'm putting myself a pitcher, you're ready to pitch, and you have 50,000 people booing at you at a stadium. How do you stay focused and how do you make the perfect pitch?
Well, I'm sure it's just like soccer when the guy has to do the last penalty kick in extra time and
Uh-huh.
he's got the whole stadium yelling against him, or in basketball for that last free throw, it's your vision cannot be like this.
Okay.
You literally have to center it
Okay.
and block out all the noise. Um, it's a lot easier said than done. Once you experience something like that, I always used to tell everybody, if you're ever in a room and you're watching the last 5 minutes of your movie and there's a lots of people talking, if you're really focused, you're listening to that movie. Like
Mm-hmm.
you don't hear anything. You're
Nada.
listening to those last 5 minutes, and it's something incredible that the brain does. It just clicks in.
And does it give you some adrenaline when you touch the turf and you're going through the field? It's scary, emotional? How, tell us the experience.
You get butterflies. It's just like every athlete says.
Okay.
If you don't get a little nervous before the game, then you shouldn't be playing. Then
Okay.
there's no passion in there, because again, you want to make everybody happy. You want to communicate good with the team. You want to make sure you accomplish the goals that day. So there's a lot that you've practiced for. So it's
Hmm.
normal, just like any big meeting in a business meeting, right before you've prepared, but there's that little bit of nervousness.
I
And
know. I
that's that
know.
edge that tells you to make sure you did your job right.
I know, and you're absolutely right. I have run ultra marathons, and I did one, especially in Africa, and it was an 89K, 56 miles. And I remember the day of the race, I couldn't sleep.
Yep.
They always say taper 2 nights before the big game or the big race
Yep.
because you don't sleep the night before. That happens to you. You didn't sleep well the night before.
Well, yeah, no, the first night I got called up, no, I did not sleep.
You didn't sleep, and then you get the
No, not at all.
butterflies, and that's what gives
Yeah.
you the adrenaline. But it's really cool what
Yep.
you said about getting into the zone, having 50,000 fans either clapping or booing, and just throw that perfect pitch and boom, bingo, you got it. I'm so impressed, and I have
My first
never.
game, my first game was against Boston,
Oof,
and it was blown out. So Yankees against Boston, and
oof,
I'm coming in the fifth inning, losing 8-1. So they can try me out. And I'm just looking around going, why is everybody yelling at me? You guys already won. But yeah, you have to feed off that energy.
I will make sure I send this link to this conversation to our friends in Boston that has big Red Sox. Danny, will I get you in trouble? Do you have a favorite team, a team that you root for?
No, when I was little, it was the Yankees because that's the team my dad was.
Uh-huh.
Now, I like watching good matchups. You know, if I know
Okay.
certain pitchers are going, if I know certain teams are playing good, I just want to watch a good game.
Okay.
That's all. So, and like anything, like any other sport, I always root for the team that's losing. And then when they're winning,
Okay.
I root for the next team. I want to see a really good game.
That's good. Well, thank you for getting us enthused. Then you got to travel. You got to travel to the other side. You went to Asia and you play in Korea,
Yes.
Taiwan, Japan. How was that
Yes.
experience?
2 years in Mexico. I
Two
played
years in
before I went
Mexico?
over there. So,
Okay.
which is a very good experience because we think we live in a Latin city here in Miami. But the moment you go live 3 or 4 months in Venezuela, in Mexico, in Santo Domingo, you realize, we're still in the States here. There's so much more out there. Um, but the experience was one of the best things baseball has given to me was the amount of traveling I got within the United States and the world to see different
Okay.
cultures, to see different people, to see different ways of doing things, whether
Yes.
it's shopping, riding elevators, different customs, everything, everything.
Yes. And tell us the experience with the Korean crowd and Taiwanese and Japanese. Uh, the culture. I mean,
Yeah.
konnichiwa, watashi wa Camilo des. That's the thing that I know in Japanese.
Yeah.
How's your Japanese and Korean?
My Japanese wasn't that good. I spent there a year, and my Korean was much better because I was there 6 or 7 years. My
Wow.
daughter was actually learning to pick it up,
Wow.
and they're completely different. They're
Yes.
different. They're
Yes.
different.
And
So it's very hard to switch from one to the other. I would meet translators that spoke both and English, and I was impressed. I was like, "You guys are unbelievable." And then they sit down and write Chinese with characters, and my head's just like, you know.
in all countries you play in Korea, you played for one game for one team or different teams?
No,
How was it?
I played for different teams in Korea. I played for two different teams, so I got to see
Hmm.
different sides of the country. Because believe it or not, it's half the size of Florida, but within
Hmm.
that little culture, there's seven little subcultures. There's seven dialects of the Korean language. So again, you go there with an open mind, and there's just so much you see in every country.
Okay. And how long were you in Taiwan?
I was only there 2 months.
Two
That's when
months.
I decided to stop playing. I had been there
Okay.
before with a Korean team, but then that's when I finally that said I called it quits.
And how are your cooking skills right now with this pandemic? Are you cooking a lot or not?
You're forgetting I work at a fire station
I know.
with 9 to 14 guys. So pandemic or no pandemic, we have to eat all
I
day. We're there 24 hours. So
okay.
um,
Okay.
yes.
No,
So
I'm
no, but
thinking
the
about
skills are good. And like
okay.
everybody else, there's a lot I'm doing with the family cooking wise when I can. So
If Janet is here, please let us know if the cooking skills are good or not. So let's go into the family part. Being
yes.
a baseball player, I'm thinking also as a singer. You're traveling constantly.
Mhm.
You have two beautiful children. How did that family component work when you were traveling so much? How and how did it affect your career as well?
At the time, I was blessed because the person I was with chose to go with me, and it's a lot easier to raise a family, raise kids if they're with you all the time. A
Okay.
lot of athletes and singers spend 5, 6 months away from their kids. I would spend 3 days away from my kids and was felt empty. Because
Yes.
I felt that was my number one job that I had been waiting for. To be a parent.
Okay. So now, Gabriel and Matthew, if you guys are watching, I will send you that link if you're not watching, but your dad is amazing and you are an incredible parent. I mean, I've
Thank you,
seen the
thank you.
love that you have for your children, for your wife, Janet. I mean, you guys are incredible. So congratulations. And I know Gabrielle is getting ready to go to college very soon. How's she doing with that
First,
college search?
well, it depends
You,
on what she wants to do and where she wants to go. She took a trip to Boston and she saw BU and BC and Harvard, and she was like, I want to go to Boston. But I told her, relax. I'm sure if you go to DC, you want to go to Georgetown. I'm sure. So she has that bug like me where she wants to travel. She's looking at schools. I want her to experience somewhere outside of here if she can. I definitely
Okay.
want her.
That,
For now, she looks like she might want to go to the medical field. She's in 10th grade and she looks like she's going that route. So
okay.
I think she was even talking about maybe chemistry first.
Okay.
So I'm teaching her something that we can teach, what school is going to prepare you better for that. What school can you go if you are thinking postgraduate? So return on investment, school loans and school costs is a big issue.
Uh-huh.
So depending on how much help she gets, where do you want to go? And by help, I mean scholarship funding. What can
Scholarship.
she do for herself? Yes.
Make
Yeah.
sure that she takes summer online opportunities. There are incredible programs. I will send you the information on those online programs as
As
well.
summer online programs,
Uh-huh. Yes.
especially with the last 4 or 5 months, because as good as a job the school is doing, I just don't think it's enough because you lose that face-to-face interaction that these
Yes.
kids have not gotten from not being in the classroom.
Yes. And right
You
now,
know,
my colleagues and I, we are going nuts with the online system because right now there are no schools offering physical summer programs at colleges and
yep,
universities. But so the boom right now is online courses. I will send you links for very
yep,
good programs that I know are very affordable. And for all of you that are watching, if you need information, JCT for Education, and we will send you that information. Danny,
yes.
so I will stop and I pause. And I grew up in Colombia. I moved to the States when I was 19, 20, and I see a fire truck and I absolutely stopped and I look at the mechanics. I am like, man, I wanted to be a firefighter. But here you are, you have fulfilled your dreams here. You play professional baseball, you travel around the world, you play against the Red Sox, pitcher, and now you say, okay, I got to change my career and I want to become a professional firefighter. When did that happen and how?
Yeah, I was like you. Since I was small, you look at the red truck and you get awed, it's not the career it used to be. There's a lot more education involved, but I looked at it from the point of view of I'm 38 years old. I can finish my finance degree. I just didn't see myself in an office.
Okay.
I didn't see myself in that environment. I had already talked to a lot of friends that were firefighters, and they explained to me about how much growth, how much education, and believe it or not, and as you get older, there's certain jobs that you want because they fit your need, and the time off for me was amazing. So
Okay.
to know that I'm working 24 hours, fine. To know that maybe I didn't get any sleep, but I have all day today and tomorrow to recover, to pick up the kids at school, to meet my wife for lunch. If she comes by the house, anything that time to me is huge.
Okay. I just want to say, I see Kike Barco. He just joined. Kike, un saludo. Kike, where are you right now? Are you in Africa? Are you here in the States? Please call me
Oh,
because I haven't seen you in a long time. And Kike, don't go away. I'm here with Danny Rios, professional firefighter, professional baseball player, and a parent. Now, Danny, what's the age cut up for to apply to become a firefighter? And how long did it take you to train? And what type of training do you have to go through and where?
I I literally took probably 2 years minimum, and I literally did everything in 2 years. Got proactive, like I told you, looked for spots,
Yes.
found a department that was hiring. I got in with that department, and I just stuck with that department. There's not really an age per se, so long as you can do the job, physically.
Yes.
Luckily, like you, running, even baseball, after baseball, I stayed in shape. I ran at the triathlon, so that wasn't going to be an issue to me.
Hmm.
The issue is, like we spoke about, everybody sees the fire truck. Everybody sees, pulling the hose, stopping the fire, getting cats out of engines. But here in South Florida, firefighter involves a lot of medical training.
Okay.
Everybody's medics. We're dealing with the hospitals all the time. Something like 75% of our calls are medical.
Okay.
So that to me was more important. Was I going to like that field? How was I going to adjust to that, type of environment? So I decided to take care of those classes first.
Okay.
And, to my surprise, I really liked that aspect of really servicing people in that way.
Okay. Danny, and you face pain. I mean, you see right now, before we come on live, we you and I we were talking about the amount of accidents that are happening right now. I was just with a guy who owns a body shop and say I have more work than ever before because I've seen a lot of accidents. What's the theory behind that people are going out again and all these accidents that we're seeing?
Remember the first 2 weeks when they told us to bunker down?
Yes.
One of the positives was that everybody was saying, "Wow, I feel like I'm catching up to life. I feel like I've slowed down." And everybody was enjoying that time. Everybody was driving slower. Everybody was doing. I think maybe it went too long after 2 weeks, two
Mm-hmm.
months in the house, people dying to work, people dying. So they went exactly to what their brain knew. Drive fast, hurry up. You mix in rain, you mix in the rush, you mix in a bunch of people on a Monday. It's a combination. It would probably be too complex to blame it on one thing.
Yes.
But if you look at all the little things that's happened for the last 2 months, it's um, it's to me, it's a no-brainer. It was something was about to give. We see it when it starts to rain. We see the rain comes, and the first couple of days, there's accidents.
Okay.
But 2 or 3 days later, the accidents slow down because now it's raining for 3 days. So what does everybody do? They slow down.
Yes.
So you put that in combination with 2 months cooped up inside the house, forgetting how important it was to slow things down. We're back in that rat race, just rushing a little too much. Leave home a little early, take your time. Is that red light worth it? You
Yes.
know,
Yeah. Danny, and now I see like with the states opening up, people are feeling very comfortable. Um, what type of how can we prevent ourselves? Any precautions, any recommendations that we should follow?
except for it, I would say it's probably although it's not like the flu, the recommendations have to be just like the flu because
Okay.
the point of contact is similar, right? We get it from somebody being too close, somebody coughing next to you.
Mm-hmm.
You touch the surface. I don't think we have to walk around in a bubble every day. We're
Mm-hmm.
eventually going to relax a little bit, but that doesn't mean when flu season comes, we don't start being a little more careful.
Okay.
For us, we have protocols and the same N95 masks, the same goggles, the same gowns that you see people use for the virus. We've
Yes.
always had that in the trucks. And our protocols specifically say if you suspect TB infections, flu virus, or any other communicable infections, use them. The only
Okay.
difference is now if you suspect fevers, use them. So they were being a little more proactive, and now they're starting to back away as the virus dies down a bit.
Okay.
But it's just stuff that we always have to do. Wash your hands. They've been telling us since we're little, right? Wash your
Yes.
hands. Wash your hands before you eat. Wash your hands when you come in from the house. So
I see. And Danny, in terms of shifts, how does it work for firefighters? How many hours are you at the station, and then how many days you get off?
24 hours on and then 48 off. So
Okay.
I work from 8 in the morning to 8 in the morning.
Okay.
But if a call comes in at 7:45, like today,
Mm-hmm.
you don't respond to a fire or to the sick person and go, I'm done. You run that call until it's over 9, 10, 11, 12,
Okay.
and then you have 48 hours to recover.
And how many people work? How many firefighters are your station?
Every station is different. You can have a station with as little as 3, and you can have one with as much as 14 or 16. It depends
Okay.
on the vehicles and the personnel used for that vehicle.
How much money
So
does it cost a fire truck?
a fire truck,
Approx.
ooh,
Yeah.
about $250,000.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Just
That's
the
what.
engine alone, the gear, well, now with the electronics and everything that goes into it, all the sensors, turbo, diesel engines, and you're putting a huge pump, for water, all kinds of tools. Yes, around that much.
Now, what we see on TV is real. All firefighters in super good shape and lifting weights, or tell us.
Unfortunately, unfortunately, no, no,
Okay, okay.
no. That's the downfall of not sleeping all night and having
Oh,
snacks at the station all day. So you do a call at 12, you come in at 1, they're staring at you. You do another call at 1:30, you come in at 2:15 in the morning, they're staring at you. So luckily, I'm in a station where we try to keep that to a minimum,
okay. And you guys have a
because
pretty decent gym inside the station?
our station does. Mostly every station will have some kind of equipment for you to use, whether it's in the bay or a room
Mm-hmm.
dedicated for that for you to
Okay.
use. It's it should just be part of our job,
Okay.
especially someone like me that got into it at 39. So we do need to stay in shape. Something as simple as picking up a patient who's coded and fell behind the bed, near
Okay.
the wall. I'm going to have to, with some other person, get that patient out. So you want to have good technique. You want to be in good shape for that. Um, it'll be better for the person to get them out as quick as possible, safely as
Yes.
possible, without banging their head around, and it'll be better for you as far as your career.
So now I'm thinking about hurricane season is coming up here in Florida. Are you guys super
We're
busy
preparing.
during hurricane season?
Not as much. For us, where I work, the winter picks up because we have a lot more retirees with Century Village and
Mm-hmm.
a couple other places, so the call volume goes up a little bit.
Okay.
But for storms, it depends if the storm hits.
Okay.
Remember, we're supposed to protect our city, um,
Okay.
the same way police protects their city. We
Okay.
both work with the same thing. So if a hurricane does hit, storm, power outages, um, local business where the roof caves in, we go in and try to mitigate the situation, try to calm it down, because that's our number two priority. First one's life safety, next one's property conservation.
Danny, it seems to me, and I'm cautious about your time, and you also got to sleep because you haven't gotten much sleep. But you're a person that when I look at you, you have followed your dreams, and you know when you have to stop and when you prioritize your family. Is there a message that you wanna share with people and any advice to everyone? A life message, and right now, under the circumstances that we're going through this pandemic.
Stay positive. We're going to be fine. We always get through things. Not just humans, not just people, especially our country, especially with the riots going on. I've been through those riots before, 78, 82. We're gonna come out, and just stay positive, thinking that we're gonna come out better, right?
Yes,
I mean,
yes,
it's what we do. We're smart, our ingenuity, our philosophical thinking. We're gonna find ways. I don't care what it is. Global warming, racism, COVID, we're going to find a way. It's
yes.
it's our human nature to survive, right? And I'll always have faith, and I'll always put my money on us not only doing the right thing, but getting through it.
Absolutely, Danny. And how can we support our local firefighter station? Is there anything that you guys wish us as citizens can do for you guys?
This one's very important, because with the whole thing with the COVID and the first responders, a lot of people wanted to come by and bring us food. A lot of people wanted to come by and bring us stuff, and we were felt really guilty because we have a job, we have insurance, we have a paycheck. So that's why you would even see it. Like, some friends of mine were saying, yeah, we're trying to write in Facebook, like, listen, I know you want to help us out, but think about the people that really need the help,
Hmm.
that all of a sudden got told you can't open up your barber shop, you can't open up your clothing store, you can't open up your little restaurant. Like, try to help those people out. A simple thank you to us does everything that we need, because we're getting paid to do what we do and do what we love.
Uh-huh.
A police officer, you can't, don't take them food, don't take them anything. If you say, hey, thank you, same thing. That
Okay.
that just reaffirms that we're doing our job. But to me, if you're going to give something, there's a lot more people out there that really need it, especially now with 40 million people. unemployed.
I know we're gonna see like when the hurricane passes through, we will see the aftermath of the hurricane, and I think we're gonna start seeing the effect now that the PPP will run out next month, and we will see the aftermath for what is happening. But Danny, I just thought when I thought about inviting a hero, I thought about you
No,
because you are a hero. You're saving
uh,
lives all the time. You're putting your life for others. When I see fire trucks on the highway, I'm always worried about a person, watching you guys and going 80 miles an hour. So again, on behalf of the communities, I want to thank you and your station and your colleagues and all the firefighters around the world, because without you guys, I don't know how we make it. So, and you fulfilled that dream from when you were a child, and then you move on to major leagues, and then the most beautiful thing that you have two beautiful children, a beautiful wife. So, man, thank you so much for your time. I know it's rough with 2 hours of sleep, but on behalf of everyone, thank you for being with us today.
no, thank you very much. And please, if you see us blocking too many roads on the highway, it's because of that. We're afraid somebody might hit us. Don't get mad at us
Yes.
on the highway.
No, no,
Listen,
no.
thank you for having me, and I know my wife is watching, so thank you for everything that you do. Thank you.
No, thank you, man. And remember, everyone, this video will be housed on IGTV, also on our YouTube channel, JCT4Education. You can rewatch and see this awesome interview with Daniel Rios. Dani, un abrazo. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Thank you.
Juanca.
Buenas tardes. Bye bye, everyone.
This was
Thank you.
fun. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Bye.